You're listening to Podketeers.
Welcome to episode 438 of Podketeers. This week we talk about Disneyland flipping into Christmas mode, ornaments we'd love to see, new Marvel shows coming to Disney+. We talk about the reports that the Galactic StarCruiser is making some service changes, but not the ones you'd be expecting. Fantasmic is back at Walt Disney World, and there's an Encanto show at the Hollywood Bowl this month, and it includes a nice surprise for the holiday season. We'd love for you to join the conversation on our social networks, including Instagram and Facebook, but we invite you to join us on our Discord server. Joining the community is super simple. Just head over to podketeers.com/links and click on the Discord button to join our community. A very special thank you goes out to an awesome group of people known as the FGP Squad, our podcast Fairy Godparents, because it's their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. As part of the FGP Squad family, you get some additional perks like exclusive discount codes for Podketeers gear, additional content like the Podketeers after show, and access to our happy hour calls, just to name a few. For more information on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to check out podketeers.com/FGP. And as always, a super special thank you goes out to the FGP Squad for their continued support. Okay, that is going to wrap up the intro. It's time to get into the episode. If this is your first time hanging out with us, welcome. We hope that you enjoyed the episode and that you come back for more. And of course, if you've been hanging with us for a while now, welcome back, friends. Here is episode 438 of Podketeers.
Goes on.
And the beat goes on and on and on and on and on and on.
It's a song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends.
You know, I heard that some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, but they continued singing it forever just because.
It's the song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends.
I heard that some people started singing it, not knowing what it was. And wouldn't you know it, they continued singing it forever just because.
That's the song that never ends. Bop, bop, ba-doop. Hey, look,
Poor
it
people
just ended.
listening to this.
So I had a weird CD at one point in my youth that was it's called Space Ghost Coast to Coast Backyard Barbecue.
Yes!
Did you ever have that CD?
Yes!
So that was on that CD.
Yes!
If you want to like a whole just like smattering of ridiculous songs, that's a good fun like album to listen to. I'm sure it's on Spotify and YouTube and stuff. It's silly.
Well, I'm pretty sure I still have the disc somewhere as well.
I love beans. Hey, hey, hey.
That's a great.
I love beans.
Man.
Every day.
Man.
I got a doodle in my noodle, and his name is Minky Boodle.
Minky Boodle.
Minky Boodle.
Wow.
I love it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. You know, I know that there's going to be a ton of people that are going to hear what we just did, and they're going to be like, oh, no. Especially anybody that either grew up watching Lamb Chops Play Along or had this disc or just is familiar with the song in general. And I don't know necessarily what is worse, that song or the fact that, Taylor Swift released Midnights recently, and she has now gone down as the first artist in history to have all top 10 of her songs in the Billboard 100 at the exact same time. Like, there was a really big push to have as many songs from Midnights in the Billboard 100, but the entire top 10 is her. They're all tracks from this new album.
You know, and I've not heard a one of them.
Well, I have. If you've been listening to the podcast long enough, you know that I like Taylor Swift's music. You know,
You do?
I'm not going to go as far as
Swiftie.
saying I'm like a hardcore Swiftie or anything. Like, I'm not, I like Taylor Swift's music, Okay, so
A hardcore Swifty LaRue. For
not
all
a
my,
Swifty LaRue.
Not
No.
a Swifty LaRue. My
No.
all my Superstar Limo friends out there.
But on TikTok, there is an account called There I Ruined It. And There I Ruined It takes a lot of popular music, a lot of popular audio clips, and does things to them that in some cases it ruins it for some people, and in other cases just makes them super hilarious. I'm on the border of what this one is for me because I happen to find it very funny, but I have to admit it's kind of ruined anti-hero for me because as Taylor's getting right into the chorus, she has the line for the last time, and then she goes into the "It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me." But There I Ruined It just kind of happily inserted Mario, and so now, as it's going into the chorus, you hear, "It's a me, Mario." And so now I can't unhear it. As a matter, here, let me play the clip.
You got tired of my scheming for the last time.
It's me, Mario.
I'm the problem, it's me.
Now look, as snappy as that is, okay? As snappy as that is, I'm borderline because I happen to think it's very funny. They lived up to their name. They have ruined it for me in a way.
They ruined it for sure, and it reminds me of, remember when the screaming goats were all the rage?
Oh, yes.
And they would put those in with the songs. There's probably 5 or 6 songs that I'll hear on the radio that automatically I hear the screaming goats. Taylor Swift song. I forgot what it was. But there's a Taylor Swift one where they put the screaming goats in. It's every time I hear it on the radio, that the goats are in my head.
It is classic. This is what the internet does, and I'm for it. I love the creativity and the fact that someone thought of this, and here's this magical piece.
Yeah. Trouble is the one. There are several, but I think Trouble's the one that you're talking about. That's the one that...
Yes.
Yeah. Trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Mel, the internet is a wonderful place sometimes, but sometimes it also... I can't enjoy Midnights. Well, I mean, I can enjoy Midnights. I can't enjoy Anti-Hero now without hearing Mario. So, yay. They did it.
It's me, Mario.
For the last time.
Mushroom
It's me,
Kingdom,
Mario.
here I come.
Don't touch that mushroom! Hey, so we're past Halloween.
That means it's Christmas. That means it's Christmas.
Yeah,
It's
11:59,
Christmas.
October 31st was still Halloween. Midnight, November 1st, instantly Christmas at the Disneyland Resort.
Christmas. I
Mariah
love
Carey has been peeking her head around the corner for the last couple of
Scary.
weeks, and now she's finally there. Because
She
all
is
she
in a
wants
witch's
for
costume
Christmas,
riding on a Peloton, and
Listen.
then it was Christmas time.
Listen, I don't know if you know this, but all she wants for Christmas is you.
Well, that is very convenient because all I want for Christmas is Christmas decorations.
How is that convenient?
I don't know. It's very convenient because they play that song at the store, and that's where I buy Christmas decorations.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
All right.
I go and I hear it all the time because I'm going to Big Lots and I'm going to Home Depot and Lowe's and Michael's and Home Goods and I don't know, Walmart, Target. The list goes on and on and on. I go to the 99-cent store. They got some good Christmas decorations. I'm going to go on a little rant about Christmas decorations right now. Okay, so I don't know if there's any other Christmas decoration aficionados out there, but this year seems to be the year of gnomes. Every
Really?
Christmas decoration has a gnome on it. I am not a big fan of gnomes. I don't have any gnomes, And there are so many, 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 many gnomes on every Christmas decoration you can find. I have dog Christmas decorations, and I was lucky that the last few years have been very dog heavy when it comes to Christmas decorations. And now it's the year of the gnome. So sad time for me. I guess good thing if you like gnomes, because they're everywhere. Little beard guys with their little noses. But yeah, that's my little rant. I don't like the gnomes.
I'm sorry.
So, I mean, you know what? It just means I spend less on Christmas decorations because...
There you go. Silver lining.
Silver lining. I
Yeah.
can buy... it just means I have to hunt for the dog stuff online. I've already bought... Let's see. It's just November 7th as us recording, and I bought like 7 Christmas decorations already.
Wow.
I haven't put them up yet. They're like in a container. I'm restraining myself from putting them up. I still have the I got to take the Halloween decorations down still, but
I mean, you could mix it.
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving week. It'll be Thanksgiving. Then the day after Thanksgiving, boom! It's Christmas vacation. Clark Griswold threw up on the house, and there it is.
Nice.
But I try to restrain myself until after Thanksgiving or the evening of Thanksgiving. Black Friday is Christmas Decoration Friday.
So I had a conversation with one of my coworkers about decorations for his house, because back when so are you the type of person that leaves the lights on year round your house?
No, I do not. I take them down.
Okay. So
About second week of January, I try and take them down.
Okay. So there's plenty of people that do this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he had decorated for Halloween, and he said he was mentioning how over the weekend he had been taking down decorations because he was going to get ready for Christmas. And I said, "Why did you waste so much time? All you had to do was throw a couple of Santa hats on there and just call it Nightmare Before Christmas." Right? You got lights, you got spookies, you got just throw some Santa hats, a couple of candy canes, and boom. You got your Nightmare Before Christmas. And the more that I think about this, the more this is actually a really marketable idea that we need to capitalize on. We should just do
us
like
personally.
Yes, like us personally. We come up with this idea of these joint decorations that on the flip of a switch, like you just get a different hat, you just get a different expression or something like that. We sell them to Spirit Halloween next year, or we sell them now and they have them next year. Boom, bajillionaires.
So it's like a zombie that takes its head off, but then you can like take the head all the way off, and it's like Santa's head underneath or something.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I was just putting like a Santa hat on them or something.
Oh, well, they got some complicated stuff at Spirit Halloween.
Well, whatever it is.
It's like, you ever have those dolls? Like, my sisters had these dolls when I was little. It's like, it was kind of creepy if you thought about it, but it was like 2 bodies sewn at the waist together, and there was a head on both ends, and it had a dress. And so you'd flip the dress, you'd hold it up one way, and it looked like, wearing a blue dress. You flip it the other way, the dress covers the other half, and there's another one, and it's a purple dress or whatever. Like, you do that with yeah.
Somebody already took our idea?
Well, like 100 years ago when they made fabric dolls. But
how dare they?
We're 100 years too late.
You know what? It's innovation. It's
Here's how we make it better. We add Bluetooth.
Yes, everybody loves Bluetooth. Like, we know this from The Big Bang Theory.
What does it do? We don't know yet, but it's got Bluetooth.
Bluetooth monitoring. It's a smart home accessory.
Yes, exactly. It syncs up with your lights.
I don't know why I said that like Mitch Hedberg.
It syncs
smart
up with your
home
lights.
Accessory.
It syncs up with your AC, whatever you want.
Your dishwasher can tell your Christmas lights to turn on.
But your toilet cannot. Your toilet just flushes. That is what it's meant for.
Man, I miss Mitch Hedberg. It'd be so good to have him around still to talk about smart home stuff. That'd be funny. But anyway.
It would be funny, yeah.
It would be funny. But Christmas is here, and I bought Christmas decorations, and I'm going to Disneyland in like 2 weeks, and I'm going to buy more Christmas stuff there.
Yay!
I already got my eye on. They have a Roger Rabbit cartoon spin ornament out right now, so I'm hoping they're in the
Really?
parks. They're on Shop Disney right now, but I didn't want to pay shipping since I'm already going to the park, and it says it's a park thing, so I'm gonna see if it's there.
Oh, cool.
Yes, it's one of those like the ear ones, like the Mickey ear
Yeah.
ones, and they got all the stuff. So
Nice.
I gotta get me some of that.
Yeah, there was the last few years I've been getting more ornament, but I've been getting a lot of the Hallmark stuff. I was getting a lot of the Disney Hallmark stuff and a lot of the Nintendo Hallmark stuff that they had. Like last year, I remember getting, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. I got the storyteller statue, and then I got a couple of Nintendo cartridges, including like a gold Legend of Zelda ornament that's super cool, and then like 8-bit Mario and 8-bit Link from the original game. There was a couple others that I got. This year I got the Hatchet Man, and
Hatchet
then
Man.
was the other one a Hatbox Ghost ornament? I don't remember what the other one was.
The Disney ones.
Yeah, it was the Disney ones we were talking about
Yeah.
not too long ago.
Yeah. I think it was the Hatbox Ghost was the other one. I think,
Yeah.
or is it Hitchhiking Ghost? I don't know. They were all cool.
They were all cool, yeah. So I'm probably going to get a handful more of those. And then I'll probably end up getting a few more from Hallmark this year just to round out the collection.
I haven't
know what
even
I'm
been
gonna
on the
get yet.
Hallmark website yet this year.
They had some really cool stuff. After Marin sent us the link several weeks ago, I just kept going back to see what they had in case they were like adding new stuff. There's got to
Mark
be some
Maron?
kind of like, no, Marin, one of our listeners.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Mark Maron's a listener. I don't know.
Mark Maron is not a listener, I guarantee it.
You never know.
I guarantee it. So, yeah, I don't know what they have in the parks.
You can get KK from Animal Crossing on
At Hallmark?
Hallmark. Yep.
Ooh.
You have Animal
Sitting on his
Crossing
little
stuff?
stool playing his guitar. I'm on the website right now.
Oh, no. Andrew didn't want to spend money, and now he's on a website with ornaments. We've seen how
Hitchhiking
this goes.
Hey, look, there's a little puppy. That's cute.
You know what they also have on the site? They have an ornament with Din Djarin without his helmet holding Grogu.
They also have an IG-11
Wow.
ornament.
Oh, I saw the IG-11 one. That one looks pretty dope. Oh, Mel, they have the Enterprise. Like an
Really?
Enterprise ornament, yeah. They have a Dalek. If anybody wants to get me a Dalek.
Like the rental car company.
Dalek? No, Enterprise, you mean.
Enterprise.
Oh. It's like I've never heard of the Dalek rental company.
No, I'm sorry. I
Right.
was a little late. I was looking at this Mace Windu ornament.
They have a 10th Doctor ornament. So my damn. Oh.
Oh, there's another puppy. All right. Oh, Scooby-Doo.
There goes.
And-
You hear that? That's money flying
They
away.
have
Yeah,
Neo.
that's out of the bank account.
They have Neo from the Matrix. And at the cart.
Oh, you're scrolling through this page is a lot quicker than me. I gotta go faster.
Well, the 10th Doctor. You know what? They're calling him the 10th Doctor, but he is the 14th Doctor. I don't care what you call
Oh,
him.
they got the pirate, the sleeping pirate with the pigs, Mickey and a Dumbo.
This Razor Crest ornament looks pretty cool. Oh, this is awesome. $35.
This is real exciting listening. Listen to them. What the little
Go
crowds.
through ornaments, yes. Hey, let's
Here's
move
Melissa.
on, right?
They got the Undertaker, Melissa.
What? Oh, jeez.
Undertaker, Bowser, Sophia from the Golden Girls.
Wait, what?
They have
What
like
if
everybody.
What if Sophia met the Undertaker?
Oh, dude. Back in St. Olaf.
That's Rose, you uncultured
that's
swine.
No, you're supposed to start with picture. I could picture. Or
Picture
no,
it, Sicily.
Picture it,
Picture
Sicily. There you
Sicily,
go.
yes.
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
All right, I guess I'll leave this
Oh
Oh,
man.
they got some Marvel stuff?
browsing for later. I'm only on page 8 of 15
Ugh, what did
of
we
just
do?
the keepsake ornaments.
Damn it, Andrew, what did you do?
Well, you're the one who brought up Hallmark. I just looked on the
I
website.
mean, Christmas. You guys.
Zach Morris from
they
Saved
have
by
an
the Bell.
Eevee ornament. The Pokemon.
And
Oh, and they also have a
Add to
Super
carts.
Nintendo and a Genesis. They have the raccoon Mario from Mario Brothers 3, flying with his little tail.
Yeah, but what about this one? It's called the Ninja Bread Man. It's like a gingerbread man, but he's a ninja.
Oh my god!
That's cool. Ah,
If my kids look at this loot llama from Fortnite, they're gonna want me to get it.
Luca on a Vespa.
do they have like Sezzle or Afterpay?
Oh,
Because oh my gosh, there's so many.
this Legend of
click out.
Zelda
I gotta
Link
click out.
ornament is pretty awesome.
It is. It is.
How did I already hit $300?
It's like
'Cause you
5
put,
ornaments.
You put 4 in your cart.
All right, you know what? We got to move on. I will.
That's not an ornament. That's
click
this
out.
talking.
Click out.
Yeah, click out of this. Click out of this. Oh, that's so cool. Hey, Hallmark. We are open to receive some ornaments to sample
you want us to,
for the holidays. To
We'll review
them.
them.
We'll
we'll
review them on
review
our
'em.
YouTube channel, and then thanks.
And then while I'm wearing my Bombas socks. And sleeping in my Brooklyn sheets. Those are not ads. That's just. And don't forget to get your 4 months free on Blue Apron. I don't know. What are the other ads that our podcasts are on?
Make sure that you use Podketeers as your discount code, and
Podketeers code.
you'll
for
get 30
4
free
months
meals
off
with
on
you.
Blue Apron.
We don't have a Blue Apron code, by the way, so don't go try it if you're listening. Not yet,
I'm
anyway.
like, dang it, it's not working. They said Podketeers at Blue Apron.
We should move on, though. Because
Probably.
yeah, we're talking about ornaments. Well, I mean, look, Christmas time, favorite time in the parks, obviously. I've talked about this before.
Yes.
I'm not sure how I'm going to handle this holiday season. There's so much right now going on that I'm trying to figure out when and if I'll be able to go to the park during the holiday season, because I also want to try out the Magic Band. I want to try out the whole bounty thing and everything that they got going on with it. So hopefully I can go sooner than later. But, since we're talking about ornaments, I did think of one thing. So the Haunted Mansion, obviously has been in Haunted Mansion Holiday since July, because that's when, they converted over, obviously.
September.
Sure,
Come
whatever.
on.
It's still before Halloween, so whatever. But, I've always wondered, since we're talking about ornaments, I've always wondered why they haven't taken advantage of the different gingerbread houses and made collectible ornaments for each gingerbread house that they make every year. If they made like one set that had like the first 20 or whatever, or even if they released them as individual ornaments, like these Hallmark ones that we were just looking at, how awesome would it be to have the mansion gingerbread houses decorating your tree?
Yeah, because they did do a pin set at one point.
Yeah.
I think it was like for the 20
The 20-year
year
one, yeah.
Or no, maybe it was, and they had the gingerbread houses as pins. But yeah, especially even if they don't go back, even if it's just going forward, like they have to know, like I'm sure they're already designing next year's gingerbread house
Oh yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no reason not to just send it off to the mold making factory and there you go. We got even if it's like a flat one, like if it's not 3D and even it's just more
Printed
pin
on?
style, not even printed on, but like a pin style or you want 3D. I know Hazen wants
No,
3D.
I want 3D.
Yeah.
Send me the
Something.
3D file, and I will make them on my 3D printer.
There you go.
My non-existent 3D printer.
I was gonna say you got is this news? Do we have a 3D printer?
No, but
So
Black
you
Friday
guys
is
want the
coming, so
ornaments.
cross your fingers.
So you guys want the ornaments. I'm curious why they never sold these as cookies. Like,
Oh,
'cause,
yes!
I mean, the temptation of the smells, like, come on. But yeah,
That's
ornaments would have been
genius.
fine.
I mean, the cookie
Well,
would have
they
been
don't
fine, too,
hire us,
because you
so-
could have lacquered it. You could have, like, resined it or something, and that cookie is now a
Something.
damn ornament.
Right?
You know what?
For,
You could
like
do
a fraction.
Yeah, gingerbread ornaments are a thing.
Mm-hmm.
In resin?
No, like if you can like bake, like you make a certain like a dough, basically like a gingerbread dough, but there's a way that you cook it and it gets hard and it's an ornament. Like I have ornaments, like well my mom does, I don't, that are like basically like a cookie, but it's hard as a rock and it's an
Yeah.
ornament.
What?
It's like
Get
a craft
out!
thing that like kids do. Yeah, I'll have to look
It's
it
like-
up.
It's an old craft. I don't know the recipe either, but I know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's just basically
Is
like
it like
flour
baking
and
Play-Doh?
It's. I mean, but you just make it with like flour and stuff. Like it's just like stuff. Like
Yeah.
and it just like and you make it an ornament. Like it's a thing.
Interesting.
Like I don't know the exact recipe. I'm sure somebody out there, hey, in Podketeers land, go on the Discord and post about this thing because I'm sure somebody knows about this. That's not just me.
But it's
If
a
not, I
gingerbread.
will,
It's a gingerbread cookie that you're making before
it's
it
like
becomes an
it's like a
ornament.
gingerbread cookie or some kind of something or another. I don't know. I know it's a thing, and I'm probably getting most of the details wrong, but
It's possible.
they
It's possible.
exist.
Okay.
I've done this before. Like my mother has them in her ornament box.
Interesting. All right. Well, I mean, I want to say that I want to make it, but then if I do that, I can't get a 3D printer. I mean, I still could, but I would much rather get the 3D files from Disney. But listen, Disney, you're always looking for more things to make money on. Here it is. The Mansion Gingerbread Houses as ornaments. Release a set. Release them individually. Collect them all. Release them in a Happy Meal. I don't know. Just release them. Give us our ornaments of the gingerbread houses from the mansion.
Yep.
Easy peasy. That'll make everybody happy.
Right?
Right.
Make me happy
Win-win.
for sure. That's what I'm saying. Cool. Well, I want to let me know what they have when you go to the park, Andrew. I'm sure that you're going to be there
Yeah.
sooner than I am. If there's anything
I will
cool,
be
make sure
there.
to send me some text messages with the cool stuff they have.
Yep, I'll be there in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Or just about 2 weeks. I will be there, yucking it up at Disneyland.
Nice. Have they announced whether or not they're going to do the candy canes this year?
I haven't heard anything. I mean, I would assume they're gonna do it. They did it last year, right?
Did they? I don't remember them doing that.
I think they even did it during the pandemic, if I'm not
They-
mistaken. They did. I don't remember. I don't know. Don't
Huh.
quote me on that.
Yeah, I don't remember if they did it the first year of the pandemic, but
Mm-hmm.
last year for sure I don't remember, and that's when the park had already been it had
Let's
started
see.
opening. But yeah, those candy canes are nice. I hope they have those.
Let's see. Dates for hand-pulled candy canes 2022. Blah, 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 blah. Da-da-da-da-da. They're $20. Here we go. At Candy Palace at Disneyland, December 4th, 6th, 11th, 13th, 18th, 20, 24. Trolley Treats at DCA, December 5, 7, 12, 14, 19, 21, and 25.
Oh, so they are doing them. Cool.
Yep.
Are they still doing the wristband thing and everything? Does it say that?
It's... Oh, geez, this sounds like a nightmare. Oh, hold on.
Stand outside at park
Hold on.
opening and try to get a fast lane for the candy canes. If you're unable to reserve anything for noon, sign up for Genie Plus, and you can get in line for the candy canes.
It does look like it's you instead of like a wristband, you add your name to like a text list, a mobile wait list, is what I'm reading here. 1 candy cane per person in your group.
In your group. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
well,
you
that's
can, so
fine.
if you have a group of 5, you can have 1 each,
Yeah,
and they're
that's not
$20.
bad. Cool. I don't know if we would get 5, but at least one of them.
Well, one sounds good, and then you could divide it, I guess.
Yeah.
I would.
They're pretty.
I've never had one of these before because it's like the most nightmare thing to try and even get.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
Thanks, internet, for ruining everything.
They're good to try to get at least once at any point. I remember the first time I got it, I was kind of on the same boat, but they're nice and airy. They're nice and soft. It's not a super hard candy cane. Like, it's airy enough that it feels kind of pillowy when you're eating
Okay.
it, but it's got enough crunch in it that, I don't remember what they're called, but they are like pillow candies. They kind of crumble when you bite them.
It's like those like dinner mints after
The dinner
Yeah.
mints, yeah.
Or, like,
Those are the ones I'm
Okay.
talking about. Like, it's very dinner minty, where when you bite it, it's crunchy, but soft
Yeah.
enough that it almost like crumbles in your mouth because it's like super
Mhm.
airy when they make it. There's a place out in, I want to say Upland. If you're local to Southern California, out in Upland, California, I think there's a place called Logan's Candies. And the guy that bought the candy store, he probably bought it like 20, 30 years ago or something like that. He does this live the way that they do at Disneyland. Like when you walk through downtown, I keep saying Upland because I'm pretty sure it's Upland. But,
it's in Ontario.
Oh, it's in Ontario. Oh, jeez. So when you walk by the candy shop, like they have all sorts of different candy, right? But they make a lot of their candy in shop. Like they make it there. And so at his window, especially this time of year, you can go by and you can see him pulling the candy cane. You can see him pulling the hot, like, gooey goodness that will eventually become candy canes and stuff like that. It's super cool. I wanted to try to go and just watch him do that, or at least buy some candy to give out, because they have some really tasty stuff there. But
I looked up hand-pulled candy canes, and there's a list of the top, like, 8 places to find handmade candy canes, and that was Logan's was number 1 on the list.
Oh, right on. Right on.
Wow.
Disneyland was number 6.
Probably because it also costs you $175 to get in to get the $20
Yes.
candy cane.
Ding ding.
Cool. So I think we should move on. Otherwise, I'm just going to want candy. We just got through with Halloween stuff, and we have some of that left over. But I could taste the candy cane. I love Christmas time, and it's going to drive me a little crazy trying to figure out when I'm going to be able to go to the park next. So I think we need to move on just for my own mental health here.
All right, moving on. Why don't we talk about those great group of listeners called the FGP Squad?
You know what, Andrew? That is a great idea. So we would like to send a shout out to an amazing group of listeners known as the FGP Squad, our podcast Fairy Godparents, because it is their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. Being a part of the FGP Squad family gets you some additional perks like access to our happy hour calls, access to additional content on Patreon, discount codes, random giveaways, a special section on our Discord server, just to name a few. If you want some more information, you can head over to podketeers.com/FGP. There you will find a list of some of our top contributors and some information on the FGP Squad. But of course, if you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer any of those that you may have. You can either send us a message directly on Instagram, or you can join our community over on Discord. Joining the community is super simple. If you head over to podketeers.com/links, you will see a link to join our Discord there. You will also see a link for the FGP Squad page there as well. FGP Squad, we have a call coming up very, very soon. We have a date. We hope that you can make it. It'll be nice to see everyone after a little bit of a hiatus from the calls during the summer. And it'll be nice to get together and play some games. So information will be posted on Instagram and on Discord this week. So we hope to see you there. And, of course, to anyone that isn't a part of the FGP Squad, if you would like to join us, again, the best way to do that is to become part of the FGP Squad family. Podketeers.com/FGP is where you want to go for that information. And, of course, to all of the members of the FGP Squad, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support.
And this week, we'll spin the wheel. Who we thinking in specific this week? Here we go. Flap, 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 flap.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Miguel! Hey, it's
Miguel!
Miguel! Hey, our good pal Miguel. You know, my baloney has a first name and it's Miguel. Nope, that's not fun. I'm trying to think of new stuff to say. MIGUELMOUSE. I don't know. Miguel, Thanks for being a supporter.
That's so
Thanks
cute, though.
for contributing to make Podketeers this what it is, I guess, helping us and being so cool. I'm gonna call everybody cool. I don't care if it gets repetitive. You're all cool. All the FGP members are so cool.
But is he a cool cat and or kitten?
If he wants to be.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'll leave that up to you, Miguel. If you would like to be a cool cat and or kitten, you're more than welcome to that compliment. But if you don't want to be, that's okay. You can just be a cool rider, like in Grease 2. We were talking about Grease 2 the other week.
Okay.
Cool rider. Or you could be like cool, like Chili Willy. Or, yeah, you know,
I like
Fudgy the Whale. Fudgy the Whale's pretty cool.
Fudgy the Whale. Delicious.
Yeah, Fudgy the Whale. Dilly Bar. I don't know. I'm trying to think of things that are cool. The Other Side of the Pillow. I did that one last week, I think. Anyway, Miguel,
Klondike Bar?
thank you. Yeah, what would you do to be as cool as Miguel? So, thank you, Miguel, and all the FGP members. And, yeah, I'll try and come up with more original things because these are just off the dome. But that's okay. That's what makes them fun.
Hey, I want to send a special shout out also to Miguel. I'm glad that he was the person that came up on the wheel this week because Miguel was one of the members of our Teamboat Willie team for Walk for Hope this year. So far, as of today, we've raised $430 out of the $1,000 goal that we have. So the Walk for Hope officially happened. It was a virtual event. It happened over this last weekend. But we normally can donate up to 2 weeks after the event. We're still going to hold our auctions because we do really want to try to hit that $1,000 goal. So if you're able to make a small donation, if you can help us spread the word about the auctions that are coming up, the info is going to be on Instagram, and that's where all the bidding is going to happen. And hopefully with what we're putting up and a few more donations, we'll be able to hit that $1,000 goal. We're going to try to help find a cure for women's cancers because cancer sucks, man. We just want to get rid of it. We don't want it to be around. We just want to demolish it, obliterate it.
Hulk smash.
Yeah,
Hulk
we want
smash
to
is
Hulk
good.
smash it. Yeah, we want to Hulk smash cancer.
Snap. I'm trying to think.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you
Can
go.
we Thanos
That.
snap cancer? Can we
Yes,
blip it?
The blip.
Ooh.
Oh,
away.
let's do that. I don't want it to come
Yeah.
back though in like 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, permanent blip.
I want to permanent blip it.
So in this case, Thanos, they don't like go and like find Thanos and like chop his head off and then he comes back and
Nah.
all this stuff. That doesn't happen. Just with the cancer thing, like
Yeah.
Spider-Man comes back, but not cancer.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
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 One of the things that just continues to live in the multiverse.
You know what?
somewhere.
Yeah, I'll come out and say it. Spider-Man better than cancer.
Yes, I will agree.
It might be an unpopular opinion. Cancer bad. Spider-Man cool.
I'm sure. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, hey, since we mentioned Spider-Man and Marvel and all that stuff, I don't know if you heard, but one, we're getting 2 new shows. There was already some talk about this. There was already some speculation about when they were coming, but Vision Quest has officially been announced for Disney Plus. We're also going to get a show for Wonder Man. Vision Quest is going to pick up where WandaVision left off. If you had an opportunity to watch WandaVision, Vision turns white, because he gets put together and he doesn't have his memories. He doesn't really remember everything that's going on, and he takes off. He goes off on his own, and then, Wanda no longer has Vision in her life.
And then she goes nuts, and then the multiverse happens, and
Yes.
and all kinds of stuff happens.
Then she wants to find her kids. And
There's a whole movie about it.
I mean, if this was a Mexican story, she would be La Llorona, maybe. Because,
Yeah.
Años Niños,
Oh,
where she-
gosh, yes.
Uh-huh, yeah,
weird
totally.
Yeah. Anyway,
And then
so
and then she would do some other stuff. 'Cause
yeah,
I totally know what
she
that
would
is.
appear in the middle of the night on a bridge and scare people and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, so Wonder Man is the other show that's going to be coming out soon. I didn't know this about Wanda and Vision and all that stuff. In the MCU, Vision was like AI that was meant to represent Tony Stark, right? And then it just kind of evolved from there, and then he became like his own kind of being, because the AI was so advanced. And that's how Vision kind of came to be in our version of the MCU. But in the comic books, the consciousness that Vision has originally comes from Wonder Man. And so they take a part of Wonder Man, they give Vision his thoughts, his caring nature, and all that stuff. Like, everything about Vision originally came from Wonder Man. And now, the reason it's a big deal in the comics, and if this is the way that they're going in the MCU with Vision Quest and Wonder Man, and then whatever they do with Wanda next, aside from Coven of Chaos, which also had a pretty big announcement, which we'll get to in a moment. The reason it was a big deal in the comics is because while Wanda was in love with Vision, Wonder Man was in love with Wanda.
Bum, bum, bum.
And so when Vision
Whoa.
turns white in the comics, there is a way of bringing back his memories and bringing everything back. But in order to do that, they have to take a piece of Wonder Man's again. And so Wanda goes to Wonder Man and says, hey, we want to restore Viz. Can you help us out? And he's kind of like, no. Because, you got to think about, like, how he's feeling in this moment, right? I don't know what they're going to do with it in the MCU, obviously. But it's going to be fun to see this one play out.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, by proxy, because Vision is just like a robot, basically, is Wanda technically in love with Wonder Man? Because everything, like, and this is from the comics, right? Like, if everything Vision represented came from Wonder Man, like, is she technically in love with Wonder Man just in Vision's body? You know what I mean?
Well, the
like,
question is what is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
No more.
I'm trying not to
Baby,
answer
don't
that.
hurt me. No
I
more.
was
Bop, 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 bop.
You know, I do have to say, as soon as you brought it, I hadn't heard of any of these. Vision Quest sounds like something that would be like a scavenger hunt at a Six Flags. I don't know that every
like a
time
PBS quiz show for junior high school students.
Yeah, or
Welcome
something.
to
It's-
Vision Quest, where you can
Exactly,
earn
that's-
radical prizes like days at a theme
And then-
park.
Yes, so that I don't like the name of Vision Quest. I'm sure it'll be fine. And also, Wonder Man is now called Captain Wonderpants because that's popped in my brain, and that's now what he's called. And I made Hazen choke on his water.
Why?
we kind of need
man.
him alive, Andrew.
It was. I took a sip at the wrong moment. I was not expecting that. It reminds me too much of Captain Underpants.
Well,
My
that's
kids-
the idea.
Yeah, my
Captain
kids
Wonderpants.
love Captain Underpants.
Tra la la.
Tra la la. I love it.
It'll be really cool to see like how they fill in the gaps or dots or play with what's already been, told to us. So it'll be cool. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I am. I have
Yeah.
no clue anything about Wonder Man. So
Excuse me, Captain Wonderpants.
yes.
The newest superhero in the Marvel roster coming to the X-Men. Captain Underpants.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Captain Wonderpants confirmed.
So since we're talking about WandaVision and we're talking about new characters, obviously we know that Agatha House of Harkness became Coven of Chaos several months ago.
Bum.
And this last week it was announced that Aubrey Plaza is going to be a part of Coven of Chaos. And I'm super excited because, one, I love Aubrey Plaza. Ever since I saw her, the first time I was introduced to Aubrey Plaza was in Parks and Rec. ever since then, I love her acting style. I love the dryness in her delivery and a lot of the stuff that she does. And I'm super excited about what she's going to do with this. Now, she does have a lot more range, obviously. There was some speculation that I saw. I'm trying to remember Jay Stoops said this on TikTok, and I thought it was a super interesting theory. So Aubrey Plaza plays Lenny Busker in Legion, and she's like this super villain that can kind of shapeshift and stuff like that. The idea of bringing Lenny into Coven of Chaos is an interesting one, because that could mean that you're bringing all of those characters into the MCU, and it could be a different timeline. It could be all sorts of different things. So I like that idea. I don't know exactly what she's going to do. Obviously, we'll find out more once the show is out, or when there's more information about it. But that was a really interesting theory that, if it pans out, I think would make a lot of Legion fans super happy, because Legion was one of those shows that I think had a pretty decent following, because I didn't see a lot of Legion. I saw several episodes, but I never saw a big portion of it. I never saw all 3 seasons of it, but it was praised as a really, really great show. Yeah, I'm excited about her coming into the MCU, regardless of the part that she ends up playing. This was a big week for people getting signed onto projects for the MCU. We also got news that Coven of Chaos was also going to add Shashir Zamata and Eric Andre to the cast. Bob Odenkirk is going to be a part of Wonder Man. Oh, Daniel Kaluuya is going to be the voice of Spider-Punk in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the next animated Spider-Man film, which is super cool. So it was a big week for talent joining the MCU, and I'm just excited about it. You guys know, anytime that there's Marvel news, I'm all over it. I don't care how good it is. I'm going to like it anyway. Damn it.
Right.
Hey, speaking of things being liked or not liked, I had a question. I don't know if either one of you had an opportunity to see this, but there was some weird reports about the StarCruiser. Did either of you read anything about this or know what's going on with it?
I've read a couple articles. It's the news has been bubbling, and I guess from what it sounds like, StarCruiser has slowly been dwindling with people. It's quite expensive, so not everybody can make it. Work, even if they're a big Star Wars fan. It's whatever, $6,000 for a 2-night stay is a little hefty price tag.
Yeah.
But what these reports that have been coming out is that they've been cutting, the capacity has only been they've only been filling 25% of the rooms available, of the space available for the StarCruiser.
Oh, wow.
And instead of cutting, these are what people have been speculating and saying, so these aren't my words, but instead of cutting prices for the thing to get more people to come in, they've been cutting cast member hours. They've been getting rid of some of the perks that are on there, second dinner seatings, less servers, and things like that for different experiences, different, less cast members all around in the thing. So it seems like the public has not been too receptive to the price tag, and they've been doing, I guess, what they think is best to try and make it still profitable. But who knows? It's kind of a a interesting sign to see that they're not booking very well, and they don't want to lower the price of the experience at all.
It just seems so backwards, man. The whole idea.
It is. It is.
Send out a coupon in the mail or something.
Yeah.
Not even that. It's just, it's either rent or they pay for that trip. And it's this is probably the hardest time for
like
anyone
3
to go
months
out.
rent.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I was trying to cut it and
No,
stuff, but
I know,
yeah,
I know. You're fine.
it's. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm turned off by anything by this because I don't see myself going. There's no way. But to hear what's happening, it's like, I don't know. If they were to adjust the prices, and I know that's not what they want to do, that's probably how you get more people to go. Other than that, I mean, that's many things there. That's a car. That's a house.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a whole
Just-
whole car. You could buy a
Yeah.
car for $6,000.
Yeah.
Something.
You could buy like 2 annual passes for that amount of money.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Sadly, yes. Yeah, this has to be a really tough place for them to be in because it's kind of a corner that they back themselves into, right? Like, they've been raising the prices on everything. The phrases and the things that Bob Chapek says sometimes, in few words, state, we want to just be the rich people park. It's how many people interpret a lot of things that he says. The problem is that the majority of the people that go to the park are not the richest people. The people that, especially at Disneyland, a lot of the pass holders that go don't have the type of income that they want to be bringing into the park on a daily basis or on whatever. They're not the favorable ones to them, as
Yes.
he said once. And so the problem with where they are right now with the StarCruiser is that if they lower the price, they basically admitted defeat, for the price. And it goes directly against everything that they've been trying to do. Everything that they've been positioning themselves for and placing themselves as this highly premium product where, everything in the parks is getting more expensive but getting smaller. Prices to go in are getting more expensive. But cutting back cast member hours and stuff like that is the worst thing that you can do in a case like this. Like
Yep.
sometimes you just have to take the L, right? Because
Yeah.
if the cast
exactly.
members aren't there to make the experience better for the people that are paying for it, they're not going to want to come back or tell other people that the experience is horrible because they didn't have enough cast members on staff to do their jobs, to put on the shows, to do whatever. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. They only have 25% capacity. Or they've only had about 25%, filling in, versus what they would have wanted. But, like, in this case, I think because they're doing it with so many other things, with the park prices and merchandise and all that stuff, lower the price by $1,000 or something, and maybe more people will come. I know that in like for them on the business side, they might be setting a bad precedent, right? Because they might see it as, well, if we lower the price for this, people are going to say, oh, see, we didn't go, we won, we just won't go to the parks, and then they'll lower the prices on park tickets. I'll tell you right now, that's not how it's going to work. Because we've said this over and over. People are going to go regardless of the price. They don't care if they have to eat ramen noodles for a week. They will go to the park. Right? So
Right.
This is a totally different beast. Like the park, they're trying to treat the prices the way that they treat the restaurants and the resorts and the park and the merch and everything. It's a totally different thing. Right? I get it. It's an experience and everything. And we've talked about how, depending on the fandom that you're in, you might be inclined to pay, an exuberant amount for a stay. Like, if they did, like, a fully immersive Marvel thing, like, I think I would be inclined to pay something like this. Like, I'm not a big enough Star Wars fan to ever want to pay this. But when you think about the cost of a cruise versus 2 nights at the StarCruiser and the experience and like everything that you get on a cruise for almost half of the price, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
an
And you're
easy
on a
decision.
boat in
And
the
you're on a
ocean.
boat, yeah. all the amenities, all like everything that you get is part of that cruise for half the price. And in most cases, that price is for an entire family of 4 or 5. Right?
Exactly.
Versus instead of 2 weeks or 2 days at the StarCruiser, you're getting a week, on one of the cruise ships. So, I get it. I know that they want to make this thing super successful, but I'm telling you, if they really do want to make this successful, cutting the cast members is not the answer here. They have to take the L,
Definitely
and they
not.
have to lower the price.
Yeah, definitely. It's I'm just looking at vague prices on cruises, and it's like per person, like you said, a 7-night cruise is like $5,000.
Yeah.
You can go up from there, but you're on a 7-night cruise on a boat, not in a hotel that is just a big cement thing. Now, granted, the theming is cool, but I think, they've also backed themselves into a corner by sticking it in this, the new Star Wars thing. That's kind of how they've been shooting themselves in the foot with Star Wars in general, with Galaxy's Edge and stuff, and they've kind of loosened up the restrictions a little bit. But not being able to include the characters from the the original trilogy, that's what even though the newer Star Wars movies made $1 billion or whatever, the Han Solo has had 50 years to be in the public zeitgeist, and you can't see him at Galaxy's Edge. You can't see Chewbacca. You can't see Luke at on the StarCruiser or whatever, or Yoda or what have you. It's their they've kind of they've screwed themselves over with being stuck in this. And I like the Star Wars movies, all the new ones and the old ones, whatever. And it's great to see Rey and Finn and Kylo Ren, but nothing's as cool as Darth Vader. Like, you can't get any cooler than Darth Vader. Like, I don't know why they can't just say, hey, Darth Vader's here. Oh no, Darth Vader. Oh, but no, that happened 40 years ago. Like, I don't know. I'm not the only person by far that has been that thinks these opinions, but it's just quite interesting to see how they've kind of made it so they can't include these characters in there by sticking to the timeline of it all.
Yeah, that I've heard that argument before as well, and that's a really great point for you to bring up, because when you think about Disneyland as a park, there's a lot of characters that we see in different lands that don't necessarily abide to a timeline, right? They don't abide to an era, or especially think of the parades, think of Fantasmic, think of the fireworks shows. They mix in things,
or even like how the movie ends. Like, Rapunzel goes around the whole time with her long hair, and it's like, well, at the end of the movie, she got brown hair and short. So if you really want to stick to the timeline, there's all kinds of stuff that they play with either way because it's iconic.
Yeah, and so in this case, you bring up a really great point that, Galaxy's Edge, I think the concept of when it was first introduced about, being on Batuu and, being introduced to a lot of these new characters, like V was one of the most interesting characters that they came up with. When is V around anymore? When Galaxy's Edge first opened, they had those really cool battles up on one of the buildings, with the stormtroopers and Rey and Chewie and stuff. Like, none of that stuff, I feel, happens anymore. Like, a lot of the things that they promised weren't there either. So the idea of taking Galaxy's Edge and converting it just to, and look, here's the thing. A lot of people don't even call it Galaxy's Edge. They don't call it being on the planet Batuu. The majority of people that I hear talk about it say, "Oh, I'm going to Star Wars Land."
Yep.
Most of the people call it that. So
they made it
what
too
if it just
complicated.
what if it did just become Star Wars Land? And that way you can get
Yeah.
you get the experience of being in a world that looks like you're in some kind of Star Wars planet. And then depending on where you go, you see the Mandalorian walking by, or you see Kylo Ren or Rey, but you also see Luke, and you see Leia, and you see Darth Vader. Maybe they don't cross. Maybe that's the thing, right? Like, they're in certain sections
Bunch of mini
of the
lands
area.
within a
Yeah.
land.
But at least you kind of get an idea. Like, over by the Millennium Falcon, you can have Chewbacca and Han Solo and Luke and Leia and Darth Vader, right? And then on the opposite side of the park, where you see Kylo Ren and you see some of the new stormtroopers and all that stuff, they can section it off in such a way where the characters wouldn't clash with each other, but you would give the majority of fans something that they want. And then that can translate over into the StarCruiser. Right? If they took that same idea and they put it into the StarCruiser and you gave them an experience with these original characters, then you can slowly start bringing some of the newer characters in. I know we've talked about it before, that we understood, I understood why they were going with the new characters, because they're trying to build the fandom of the people that are watching them now, the kids, right? There's kids watching these films now that they, in 20, 30, 40 years, will say oh, well, Rey was my first, Star Wars this, or Kylo Ren was my first villain. The same way that everyone else that grew up with Star Wars has said Darth Vader, Luke, and Leia, are their characters.
Right.
And it's even if they don't have Darth Vader, Luke and Leia and Han Solo are all in these new movies.
They are.
They're old versions of them, but they're in the movies.
That's
they
the
could have
crazy
the
thing.
old versions of them too. They could just be there.
Yeah.
Does Hux die at the end of the Star Wars? I don't remember. Doesn't he die at the end?
Yes.
Yeah, he dies,
Yes.
but he's in the ride.
Yep.
He's in the show. Why can one dead character show up in the ride, but other ones can't? Just get an old man and put him in a holster and a white shirt, and there's Han Solo. Boom! Oh, it's old Han Solo, and he's with Chewbacca, and there you go. Easy peasy, rice and whatever, however that goes. But they're in the movies. It's not like they're not.
Yeah.
It's just the old versions of them. I would gladly meet with old Luke and Leia, or Luke in the old, the robes, and he's got some green milk dribbling down his face or something.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, the idea of cutting back cast member hours and cutting, literally the ones that are making the magic, because they're the ones in the
Exactly.
costumes, they're the ones that are putting on the shows, they're the ones that are going through all of this. I get the whole money-making thing. I get it. We've talked about it before. I understand you have a board of directors and everything. But it might be time to take the L on this one, reduce the price, and give people the characters that they want, because it doesn't seem to be doing well in its current iteration.
Mm-hmm.
So-
And sometimes
Magical.
you have to lose money to make money.
Yeah.
You price things low to get all the people in and see what they're missing, and then you raise the price. That's what they've been doing their whole thing. That's their whole thing. Raise the price, but you got to start at a place where it gets the people in there.
Yeah.
Correct.
To see what they're, and then you get them hooked, and they're like, oh, I got to do StarCruiser every year because, buddy, that was so fun, and I'm going to make it happen no matter what. But starting out at such a high price point has really, I've already said it a billion times, but that's shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, we're a couple years away at this point. Yeah, we're a couple years away from Epic Universe opening up in Orlando, and we're not that far from Super Nintendo World opening up here in California. Universal knows what they're doing. Universal sees how upset Disney fans are from all the changes, and they see how they're unhappy with what's happening if you notice, a lot of the things that Universal is doing is directly catering to those. They're answers to how people are feeling. And a lot of the IPs that they're bringing in are super popular. Like Epic Universe and all these new things that Universal is adding, it may not happen overnight. I want to acknowledge that Disney has a lineage and a legacy of creating experiences and magic for people, for 100 years. We're celebrating 100 years of the Disney company, in the next few months. But Universal is paying attention. Knott's Berry Farm already started doing it, which is why you've seen so many people with Knott's Berry Farm season passes. There's going to be a drop-off in Disney attendance. Just like the StarCruiser, it's going to happen in the parks.
Mm-hmm. Do better, Disney. There you go. There's the answer. Do better. Hire us. We'll make it better. Just give us free control. We'll get it all figured out for you. No worries.
Yeah.
Everybody will be happy. Promise.
I'll take a crack at it.
Yeah. Can't do any worse.
Hey, that's true.
Look, Bob Weiss already said that he was retiring from Imagineering. So, I mean, if they need somebody to fill in the spot for a little while and come up with some ideas,
chance.
I'll take it, man.
I mean, look, I already had 40 great ideas on this episode. We got Captain Wonderpants already. Come on.
Could you not see the merchandise for Captain Wonderpants in the park?
Flying off the shelves.
Right?
It's flying off the shelves.
I see it right now in my head. It's all flying off the shelves.
Right there.
Yep. See?
It's like when they release Halloween stuff. It's just there's one cup left and that's it.
Yep. Yep. And you know what's funny? I'm seeing it fly off the shelves with little wings made of $100 bills.
You know what? Dollar bill, y'all.
Right?
Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy.
Dude, I haven't
joy.
heard happy, joy in years.
Joy. Well, there you go. You're welcome.
Decades.
And you know what's funny? I haven't heard it in that long,
Jokes.
but what's ironic is that I recently collected some Nickelodeon decks, and Ren and Stimpy were one of the decks. And that's not what came to my head when I thought of Ren and Stimpy. I thought of, Stimpy, you idiot. And then I also thought of Log for some reason because, it's a super fun toy. But yeah, I that Happy Joy did not come into my mind when I was thinking about them. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the fact that Disney's doing something super interesting with a show that's coming up, and I wish they would do this more often. I don't know if you've noticed this, but on Disney Plus, they've been putting some of the fireworks shows and some of the shows that have been happening at Walt Disney World. I haven't seen, I saw it primarily for the fireworks. I'm hoping that they do one for Fantasmic because this last week they had cast previews and they also brought in, vloggers and stuff like that to come in and check out the new version of Fantasmic. One, Fantasmic at Disney World. They have the luxury of space, obviously, so they have a much larger stage. They have a lot more to play with. I totally understand that. But the new scenes with Moana and Mulan and all these changes that they made to it, I kind of dig it. I was watching people stream it.
I haven't either.
Oh, look, I was a little skeptical because I love Fantasmic. Right, There was even parts of 2.0 that I enjoyed, and I feel like they've made certain changes that have a lot of controversy, and some people don't like because they got rid of this, they got rid of that. But overall, I think they've made it better. In this version, I kind of like what they did. I hope they kind of bring some of that to Disneyland if it's not already in the plans. The way that they recreated the music for it. The showpieces, the characters, the way that they integrated them, I enjoyed it.
You know what? All I have to say, though, is they still got a junkie dragon.
Oh, they do.
I mean, look,
Yep.
It is what it is.
Okay, bypass that.
Right?
Bypass that.
It is what it
We've
is.
been there,
Our
too.
dragon, our dragon is way better than the one at Disney World, but still.
Yes, way better. Much.
There was some people criticizing it, and they're like, wow, the scenes are blah, 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 blah. Whatever, okay? It's good. I don't care what people say. It was fun. I love the scenes. I want to see it here. I want to see it with our Maleficent dragon, though, because ours is way better than that one is.
That's
Ours
the best
is
part.
much
Yeah.
better.
It breathes
Woo.
fire straight
Yes.
into the air.
Super good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Also, Mark Twain better than
Oh
their
yeah,
boat.
our Mark Twain is much better. I mean,
Ooh.
I get it.
Yes.
It's kind of like Steamboat Willie and everything. Like I kind of get what
Yeah.
they did with it, but yeah, the Mark Twain does look cooler on the rivers of America. But I don't know. I saw it. I thought it was super fun. I love the new scenes. I'm hoping that they somehow incorporate it here because I like it. It was good. Maybe it's the nostalgia, or maybe it's the fact that I haven't seen it in such a long time, or I hadn't watched the
Could
video.
be.
That it was nice to see something familiar with some new stuff integrated into it.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, like I said, the larger stage gives them the opportunity to play with the characters a lot more than they are ever able to do here. So I think that was super fun. If I saw it live, I don't know how I would feel about it, but the fact that I was watching these live streams that people were doing in these videos, I think on Discord I posted like the Moana scene or something like that. But the way that they're projecting stuff with like they're using a lot of like projection and laser technology to do a lot of the
A
stuff.
lot of lasers.
But the way that they're implementing some of the scenes, like with the Eye of Tafiti, the way that they did it for Moana, and they separate the water and everything as she's running by and stuff, like it looks so good. Like I'm telling you, it's just so fun.
I was reading this thing. Somebody was posting. They think basically like the first time we've seen Mickey in his just red shorts in anything, like in a costumed thing, like with the Jafar snake, like he's just in his red shorts, and I'd have to say it looks kind of weird. I don't know. I see why they don't put him in just the red shorts.
Yeah, the Jafar snake looks super cool too, man.
They've had that. That's been in the show
but
the whole
still,
time.
I mean, it looks cool. I like that version. So anyway, Fantasmic. If you have an opportunity to watch any of the live streams, I think it's still in cast previews, or it's getting ready.
No, it's had its.
Oh,
first,
it actually had
its
its show
first
now,
thing.
right?
It was a big old thing.
Okay.
I was reading about a whole big old thing, so it's open to
Okay.
the public. Lines were going down the street and all kinds of stuff. It
Nice.
was ridiculous.
Well, if you have an opportunity to watch it, I'm sure there's videos all over YouTube now. I'll see if I can find a good version of it, and I'll post it on Discord for you to watch, because I enjoyed it quite a bit. Again, I don't know if it's just a nostalgia talking, because I haven't had an opportunity to sit down and watch Fantasmic in such a long time, but it was good. It was really good. I liked it.
Yeah. I'll send you this one. I'm clicking through. It's like a multi-cam.
Oh, nice. Nice.
It's very cool.
And then the other thing is, I hope that this is the beginning of Disney doing a lot more of this. We saw it originally a year or two ago when Disney brought Hamilton to Disney Plus. And Disney does a lot of shows, these Broadway shows, and a lot of like shows like at the Hollywood Bowl, for instance. There's special nights. And if I had an opportunity to watch any of those shows, like with The Little Mermaid and all these other ones that they've done before, the Nightmare Before Christmas ones, for instance, I would love to see that. Now, I know that there's a little bit of a controversial thing to that, because there's a lot of people that pay a lot of money to go to these concerts and to these venues and to these events that happen. And whenever you go to a concert, I think there's a mentality of, whatever happens at the concert stays at the concert sort of situation. So if you see something special, you were part of something special for that night. So I want to say that I completely understand that. However,
Right. Yeah.
these shows tend to sell out super fast. Super fast. And because they sell out super fast, or the venues can't have the capacity of holding much more people, or in the case of the Hollywood Bowl, for instance, you can't raise the capacity. It's a very unique venue for concerts. The acoustics there are just amazing because of how the venue is shaped. Well, Encanto is coming to the Hollywood Bowl this November, the 11th and 12th of November to be exact. And
that's this weekend.
It is this weekend, yeah. What's interesting about this is that there's going to be this show, And it's also coming to Disney Plus in December.
Nice.
So they're
Oh,
recording the show
okay.
at the Hollywood Bowl, and they're going to have it on Disney Plus for everyone to watch. So this is where I kind of get split, right? Like, I feel like I want to throw this question out to everyone because I don't know which side of the fence I'm on this one. Because, if you pay money to go to a concert, you want a unique experience. You want the whole, like, whatever happens at the concert stays at the concert, right? Like, it's what you paid for. It was for
Right.
the experience. But, again, venues like the Hollywood Bowl, like, how many times have we talked to members of the FGP Squad or listeners or our friends, our family, that they were like, oh, well, I wish I could have gone to this Disney thing, but, yeah, tickets sold out. Tons of times.
Oh, plenty of
Tons,
times.
right? So,
Mhm.
I love the idea that they're recording this and putting it on Disney Plus. I'm sure it's not going to be the whole thing. You know, maybe if they had like encores and stuff like that, maybe those aren't going to be on Disney Plus. But, you know, Bob Chapek talked a lot about how he wants Disney Plus to kind of mesh in with the parks, and he kind of wants it to become like an all-in-one experience for you, where it kind of like mixes in between everything. I don't know necessarily how this plays into that, but I want to see more of this.
Yeah, totally.
Like with D23, I got super excited because I thought we were going to get way more of the expo. I don't know what happened, but for some reason we got these like 3-minute recaps that just weren't great. I really did think that they were going to put the panels up, that they were going to have like bigger access. I'm even open to paying a fee. Like, you already tested it with films, right? There was the Disney Plus Premiere thing. Or what did they
Right.
call it?
Yeah.
Was it Premiere?
Premiere Access.
Premiere Access.
Premier Access, yeah.
Yeah. You already tested Premiere Access over the last couple of years with certain films. Why not do it with these shows? For people that can't go, like, what about the people that live out of state that would have loved to watch this at the Hollywood Bowl? These are the people that are going to
yeah.
benefit from this on Disney Plus, right? And if you
Right.
don't want it to be completely free, charge us $20 for Premiere Access. You know, I would love to pay for these shows for Premiere Access. Hell, I would have done it for the expo. If I could have watched obviously you can't go to every panel, right? But if you have a
Right.
full-blown, you know, awesome production value version of the panels at the expo where you don't have people's hands popping up or phones popping into your view because you're watching it on somebody's YouTube channel, I would totally pay $20-$25 or whatever to access all those videos for a week or two. You know, like, give it a time frame. Like, from the moment that you start watching, you get 2 weeks with them to watch them all or something. You know, for people that can't make it to Destination D, you know, give us the same access. Do the same thing. I think there's so many things that they can do with this. Like, putting Encanto on Disney Plus, I feel is just opening the doors for them to be able to do this for us.
You know, I've been kind of in this thing for a while where, so I work in theater and I see a lot of theater, but I also can't see a lot of theater because it happens in New York. And so I've been a very big proponent of filming any production that exists and getting it to be able to be consumed by the masses, because the more people that see it, it's going to build your brand even more. So, you know, the biggest thing that with these plays and musicals and stuff, that the reason they don't do it is they don't put it on there because they're like, oh, well, if people watch it online, they're not going to want to see it in person. And that is like the most untrue thing on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you see this thing and it's really cool, that makes you, me in particular, want to see it even more in person, because seeing a live performance, live theater, live music is just something that's completely different than seeing a recorded version of the thing at all. I mean, even just like Fantasmic, like we're talking about, it's watching a video or seeing it in person is two completely different things, and it just makes you want to see that thing even more, because maybe that will, the next time some movie has a thing at the Hollywood Bowl or a tour or whatever, be like, oh, I got to get tickets because I saw that Hollywood Bowl thing on Disney Plus and I got to see that in person or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of relying, like you said, on people's like bootleg of it or whatever. So I'm a big advocate for having any show be filmed and put up online, because there's only so many seats in a house. There's only so many, tickets available. So how, if you want people to grow to love your thing, then make it available to everyone. And then that means, the people that, can't take a trip to New York City or Florida or LA or wherever your thing is, can still experience it and see the work that the creative team and the actors or singers or whomever put into it to make that whole production possible. So yeah, on my end, I'm totally for putting all that out for anyone to consume.
So you mentioned Nightmare Before Christmas, and if they had a way to I have not been able to see it at the bowl. So if they were to be able to say, hey, do it here, put it on there, I would love to pay. I would actually pay to see it again, only because, Danny Elfman, like his music, and it's really hard to get those tickets.
Yeah.
Really, really hard. So if they were to do this, put it on there, they would, it's a different experience if you see it live than watching it like as a replay.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. It's like I would want to relive that again and be like, sometimes you have that where something happens and you're like, you get those chills again because you remembered how it was. So I would love to see this. I would pay the $20 if we had it forever, like in the movie, like for Cruella or whatever. Why not? Take my money, Disney. This is the one time I'll say it again.
Yeah.
The one time you'll say it?
The one I know. I'm trying to. I just stopped myself.
The one time this episode.
Yes.
The one time in this 10-minute chunk of this episode.
But you made a great point right now. Think about what I just said just minutes ago about Fantasmic, right? It was watching it on video. Like, I know how I feel watching it in person, right? But I watched this live stream, and it didn't make me not want to see it in person. Like, quite the opposite. I made that connection, and I want to see it in person again. I know, granted, if I watch it here, I'm not going to fly all the way to Florida to watch it. I would watch it here before anything else, obviously. But, you both brought up really great points. The experience inside of a theater is much different. And if watching Hamilton on Disney Plus didn't make me think like, oh, cool, I've seen it, the first thing I thought was, I got to get tickets to this. I need to watch this live.
Exactly.
Like, man, I'm just, Disney, look, if this is the gateway purchase, okay, or if this is your version of the first one's free, okay, then let's do it. Because this is a great way to introduce these live shows into Disney Plus. If this first one is free and the other ones have premiere access, cool. And if they're free, then bonus, right? It's cool. It's even better. It's a great bonus to have as, being a Disney Plus subscriber, especially considering that the prices are going up. We've now basically timed out of our original Founders Pack pricing. This is a really great way of keeping people and bringing people onto Disney Plus, especially if you have access to these shows. I love this idea. I hope this happens more. So December 28th is when it's going to be coming to Disney Plus. So if you don't have an opportunity to go watch it in person at the Hollywood Bowl, I'm curious as to how different it's going to be from the live version. But I think this will be a good opportunity to figure out how much Disney plans to share if they do more of these live shows. Because I think the last thing that they did... Oh, actually, that was Disney Parks Live on YouTube. It wasn't on Disney Plus. I'm thinking about when they brought the Main Street Electrical Parade back. They did the stream for that, and it was slightly different. But, this is totally on its own level. So we'll keep you posted on this. December 28th. Keep that in mind if you want to watch it on Disney Plus. I'm going to throw this question out to everyone. If Disney decided, okay, this went really well, every month we're going to release a new show or a new product or a new convention or whatever for you to watch on Disney Plus, whatever. Like every quarter, maybe, because I don't think they have enough to do one every month. But, for the next 4 quarters, over the next year, they're going to do this. Which show would you like to see next? There's tons of existing shows on Broadway. I'm sure that they have archives of other stuff that they've put on before. What would you like to see next?
Yeah, any show. I mean, the thing is, like, I want to see something that I know I'm probably never, like, going to get a chance to see because it's kind of lost to time and I think would be that I don't know if there's a video exists of this is the Tarzan musical that was on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been Beauty and the Beast and I've seen 8 billion productions of that. I've worked on 3 of them. Like it's and Frozen is, well, I'm sure we'll end up somewhere and there's the Newsies and the Lion King and all this stuff, but Tarzan is the one that I really don't know a lot about. And kind of has like a really interesting like set design and just kind of history behind it. It's like the one that was the biggest flop out of all of them. That'd be something that I'd be interested in seeing a full good shoot of is Tarzan for sure.
That'd be an interesting one.
Rogers the Musical.
Oh,
For reals.
Nice.
For reals.
Nice.
I would want to see that. I mean,
yeah, but that doesn't exist, Melissa.
I
That's not the
know.
question. No,
But
I know.
doesn't
no,
it,
okay,
though?
So no.
But
It-
doesn't
No,
it
it
though?
doesn't.
Because
Just that-
D23, I mean,
Kind
that
of.
was like, it's not like a man.
Okay, so all jokes aside, actually, I would like to see Hercules because the music would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's coming to
think that would be
Broadway
cool.
soon. Coming to Broadway
Yeah.
soon, yeah. We didn't even
That
talk
would be
about
cool.
that. We'll have to talk about that sometime.
When they did Tarzan on Broadway,
Uh-huh.
were they wearing rollerblades to go through like the fake trees?
No, they were on like bungee cords. It was
Oh,
weird.
interesting.
They like Vines is like bungee cord stuff. There's a lot of bungeeing on stage.
Interesting.
And like there's a lot of like climbing and bungee stuff. So it was That's what really intrigues me about the Tarzan.
What was the Cirque du Soleil show that they were going to be doing at Walt Disney World?
Oh,
Drawn to Life or something?
Yes, I think that's back in running now, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's officially
Yeah.
open. Like if they did a show of that on Disney Plus, I would love to see that.
Yeah, that would be good too. That Cirque is such a high production value and technology-wise and everything. It's mind-blowing what they can do. Now this is a little smaller production than some of their like Vegas shows, technology-wise and infrastructure-wise, but it's still like I'm sure an impressive show.
Yeah.
And yeah, that I totally forgot that was a thing that existed. To be perfectly
Sure, a lot of
honest.
people did.
That's probably why he's not doing so well. Who knows how tickets are doing in that?
I'll bet you it's getting more tickets than the StarCruiser.
Probably.
hey,
All right, I think that's where we're going to end today's episode. So again, the question to everyone is if Disney Plus was going to put out Broadway shows or these one-off shows like the Encanto show or the Nightmare Before Christmas show at the Hollywood Bowl, has there ever been one that you've wanted to see but never had an opportunity to watch? Which one would you like to see on Disney Plus next? Leave a comment either on the Instagram post or, honestly, we'd love for you to join us over on Discord. Joining the community, again, is super simple, like I mentioned earlier. Head over to podketeers.com/links, and you will find a lot of the most popular links there. You'll find our latest episodes, a link to the FGP Squad, a link to join our Discord server, and a couple of other things, including a way to make a donation to our Teamboat Willie page for Walk for Hope. So that's it. I think that's a great place to end it. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up for today?
Captain Wonderpants.
Captain Wonderpants. Tra-la-la. And on that note, until next time, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
bye.
See ya.
Part of the Podketeers Network.